So welcome students. Hope you are keeping well, enjoying your life, keep on smiling. Hmm? Today we are going to discuss about some of the basic economic concepts which are widely used in the economics. The beginning of any economic activity or problem is needs and wants, you know. We have needs, we have wants, and to satisfy needs and wants, we need goods and services. To satisfy our needs and wants, we need to make efforts. We have already discussed about this in the previous class that at one end there is needs and wants, and then the ultimate is satisfaction, and in between needs and wants, we need to go for making efforts, keep on continuing with the efforts to satisfy our different needs and wants. We can satisfy one need, any particular need or want at a time, at a particular time. But then the problem is that there are multiple needs and wants. There are numerous wants that need to be satisfied. We satisfy one and then another come out, springs out. So this is the problem. And for that, we need to make efforts, economic efforts also. And therefore, these two concepts are the most important concepts in economics. And we should know about the needs and wants. So, as I told you, need is the state of felt deprivation of some basic satisfaction. It is a basic requirement for survival, you know. We need food, we need clothing, we need shelter to survive a normal life. It is the minimum requirement that one should have some basic food, have a shelter, and have clothing, because we live in a civilized society. We need to attire ourselves with the proper clothing. We need shelter for our protection, and comfort, and then of course food. You know, why do we need food? Without food we can't survive. So these are the needs every person has. But then, despite being hungry, we have our choices. We want something. We want something. Uh, say, I have already given this example that some person is vegetarian. India is predominantly a vegetarian country, so most of the persons here would prefer, would only choose the vegetarian foods. So, although they need food, but they want vegetarian food. So there is a difference between need and want. Want is a mean of expressing a need. Human desires culminate into wants, and it is a specific need for something. So there is a specific choice. We need food, but we specifically need vegetarian food only. So when needs becomes specific and culminates, then we say it is a want. Then the third term is desire. So we all have wants, we all have needs and wants, and any particular want can be satisfied at a given point of time or at a given place. But when we try, when we think, when we wish to fulfill our any particular wants in a particular way, then it becomes a desire. So if we want to have a cup of coffee, this is our want. And then if we want to have that coffee in a 5-star hotel, so this is our desire. We want to satisfy our wants in a particular way by going at a particular place in a hotel and then taking a sip of coffee or tea. So it becomes desire. So I hope you will be able to understand the difference between the needs, wants, and desire. Then there are goods, services, and products. You often come across these terminologies: goods, services, and products. So we have needs and wants, and to satisfy those needs and wants, we want either goods or services. Goods and services are manufactured, are there to satisfy the human needs and wants. So they have very important place in our lives. When we say goods, hmm, all tangible things which possess utility and which can satisfy human needs and wants are called goods. So here it is very important to consider, to note that it is a tangible things. Tangible things means the things which can be touched or felt. You can touch and feel. Suppose you have a pen, so it is a tangible things. You can hold that pen, you can touch that pen, you can feel that the pen is in your grip. So in your you are holding a pen and it is in between your fingers. So pen is a tangible thing and it has utility. It can satisfy our needs. We are students, we are teachers, and to read and write we need pen, we need books, we need notebooks. So there are several types of goods which are required to satisfy our needs and wants. So it is very important to understand here that goods are all tangible things which possess utility. It has utility, and utility is nothing. Utility is the ability of a commodity to satisfy human wants. So it is a power. Utility is a power that satisfies human needs and wants. And every goods and services holds utility, possess utility. So it is very important here that you understand that tangible things are goods. It has utility and it can satisfy human needs and wants. So goods are needed, goods are demanded, goods are required to satisfy human needs and wants. Then another form is services. All activities and processes which are intangible but performed to satisfy human needs and wants are services. So there is a difference between needs and wants. I will explain it in detail in the next slides. So you please note it down that services are intangible. Intangible. Intangible means which can't be touched, which can't be felt. So those are services, intangible things. It may be an activity, it may be a process. So all activities and processes comes under the category of services. I am teaching you. So what I am doing, I am giving you nothing tangible. I am giving you intangible thing. I am giving you. I am trying to teach you. I am trying to educate you, and so I am doing my services, and I am giving you uh, intangible things. Then you go to a doctor. You go to a doctor when you fall sick, and a doctor offers his services. So it is not tangible, but then it has utility, and the utility to satisfy your particular needs or wants. Then the third is products. All goods or services available in the market for sale is products. So we goods and services together can be called products. And products are those goods and services which are there for sale in the market, which are available in the markets. So whatever you see in the market is a product. Then there is a difference between goods and services, as I told you, and the basic differences are that goods are tangible, and services are intangible. So when we say goods, tangible things, it means they can be seen and touched. They can be seen and touched. When we say services, they cannot be seen and touched, but they can be felt. So I am teaching you, so you can't touch my services, my voice, but you can feel that yes, I am speaking. So a little correction in the while explaining the previous slide, I told you that tangible things can be felt. Yeah, tangible things can also be felt. Intangible things can also be felt. So goods can be stored. You can store your pen. You can keep your pen. as long as you want. You can keep your notebooks and books as long as you want. So it can be. Please mute your phone now. And so they can be, goods can be stored, but services cannot be stored. I cannot store whatever I am delivering this time. So services cannot be stored. Then there is a time gap between the production and consumption. In case of goods, a pen is prepared somewhere, and then after its manufacturing, it is offered in the market at a certain point of time, at a certain interval. So there is a gap. There is a gap between the production and the consumption of the product or use of that product. While services, there is no time gap. Services are given simultaneously. I am giving, I am delivering, and it is reaching to you. My lecture is reaching to you. So there is no time gap. It is produced and consumed simultaneously. Production and distribution are separated from consumption in case of goods, but services are produced, distributed, and consumed simultaneously at a time. So I am producing my services. I am giving you. I am delivering the lectures, and it is distributed. It is going to you. It is transferred to you, and you are consuming this. You are utilizing my services. So all three things are happening simultaneously at a time. So there is a difference between the production and distribution pattern in case of goods and in case of services. Then fourth is goods are things or material. So pen is a thing. Pen is prepared out of some material, but services are activities and processes. It needs. It doesn't require. It doesn't require. There doesn't require any material things. So they are intangible. And please mute your microphone. Okay. Then the transfer of ownership is possible in case of goods. I have my pen, you have a pen, and your friend wants, or you can give that pen to your friend. So you can transfer. You have a piece of land, and you can sell that. You can transfer the ownership of that land to someone else. So ownership transfer in case of goods is possible, but ownership cannot be transferred in case of the services. A doctor, a teacher cannot transfer his lectures, ownership of the lectures, ownership of his services. So the examples of goods and services are, I have already explained in between, that table, books, pens, whatever you see, your fan, your AC, all these are goods. And services are the health services offered by the doctor, the teaching, hospitality means you go into the hotels, you go to the hotels for consuming your food, and you get the service in lieu. So these are the difference between the goods and services. Then, as I told you, goods are all those products which have ability to satisfy the human wants. And there are different types of goods. Goods can be classified on the basis of income, time, so many things are there. So it is important to understand the definition of goods and types of goods. Based on income of the consumer, goods can be classified in the form of inferior goods. Inferior goods are those goods whose demand decreases as consumers' income increases. When there is an increase in the income of a consumer, what he does, it is natural, he starts substituting the products which are of inferior quality with the superior quality products or goods. So inferior goods are those goods for which demand decreases when there is a rise in the consumer income. And therefore, it has a negative income elasticity. So it is very important to understand that inferior goods are those goods whose demand decreases when there is an increase in the income of the consumer, and its elasticity of demand income is negative. Normal goods, Normal goods are those goods for which the demand, there is an increase in the demand with the rise in the consumer income. So when the consumer's income rises, it is natural he tries to buy those goods which are normal, which are not inferior. So he tries to buy at least those goods which are normal, and normal goods are those goods whose demand increases with the increase in the consumer's income. So it has a positive income elasticity. We will discuss about the elasticity when the chapter of elasticity will come. It is very important concept and I will explain it there only. Then the third category is superior good. That tends to make up a large proportion of consumption with rise in income. So it is natural that we try to shift from inferior to normal and then to superior goods as our income goes up and up and up. So it has elasticity, which is both positive and greater than 1. So elasticity for the superior goods is always greater than 1, and it might be a luxury good that is not purchased at all above a certain level of income, as for example a penthouse, a luxury car, etc. So a villa, a penthouse, a luxury car, all these are superior goods, and it is purchased when the income goes up and up and up. And then superior goods are also called luxury goods, and we have already discussed about the luxury in the previous class. Then there are types of goods which are related to price. So based on price, we can categorize the goods in different types, and one is ordinary goods. Ordinary goods are those goods for which quantity demanded increases as the price falls, and quantity demanded decreases as the price increases under ceteris paribus conditions. Ceteris paribus, I have already explained that it means other things remain the same. So only price is changing, other things, other factors are constant, and under such situation, the demand, quantity demanded increases as the price falls. So these are called ordinary goods. Then there is a giffen good. Giffen good, this type of good was explained by Giffen. It is a special type of inferior good. Please note it down that it is an inferior good, a special type of inferior good for which demand increases with increase in the price. The law of demand says that when the price is more, demand will fall, and when the price is less, the demand will rise. But here, what is happening? Despite being an inferior good, a good which is of inferior quality in comparison to others, but its demand increases with increase in its price. So, as per the normal law of demand, with increase in price, demand should fall. But here, what is happening? It is happening that despite being an inferior quality of product, inferior good, its demand rises with rise in the price. And it happens, and there are various reasons for this. Poverty is one of the reason. Sometimes a speculation, war-like situation, natural calamity happens, and it forces, they force the consumers to go for buying the given goods, means the goods which are inferior quality, but even if its price rise, they buy that. So what we do, we have no choice. And suppose there is a natural calamity, so whatever is available, we will have to buy despite being inferior at a higher price. So example of inferior good is staple foods, millets, etc. Often poor people consume this because they can't afford the superior or superior goods, and therefore they to satisfy their needs and wants, they purchase given goods even if its price goes up. Then prevalent good or ostentatious goods are there. Prevalent goods are goods for which increased price will increase quantity demanded. So there are certain goods which are related to our status. We feel that if we have this, it will distinguish us. It will improve our status. People will think that yes, they have very luxurious or prevalent goods, ostentatious goods, and therefore, even if the price increase, people buy those. So it is purchased as a symbol of a status. And you know, jewelry, all these things are valuable goods. The third category is types of goods related to consumption ability or consumption pattern. So there is a rival good or rivalrous good. Rival good or rivalrous goods are those goods whose consumption by one consumer prevents simultaneous consumption by other consumers. For example, suppose you are eating a bread, you have a bread. So it, although some other person will also be willing to eat that bread, but it is consumed by you, and you can prevent it is with you, and you can prevent its use simultaneously with that particular person. So cars, clothing, private cars, it is used by you, and you can stop anyone other to use that car or your clothes. So these are the examples. Then non-rival good may be consumed by one consumer without preventing simultaneous consumption by others. So the best example is television shows, radio shows. It is coming, and every person in the house or in the locality can watch. So no, it can't be stopped. Its use can't be stopped. Its consumption can't be stopped simultaneously. So it can be simultaneously consumed. The types of goods related to consumption ability, excludable goods, those goods whose consumption can be prevented. And for example, rental accommodation. I have a house and I rent it. I let it on rent. But if I am not willing, then I can prevent the person to use. I can say the renter to quit that or leave my house, and I can stop them using its services. So these are excludable goods. Non-excludable goods. It is not possible to prevent in an individual from enjoying the benefits of its, for example, water flowing in a river, fresh air. These are all available in the nature in abundance, and anybody can use it. You can't prevent. Then public good. Public good are, sorry, just a minute. So, stop, what happened? So public goods are those goods that are non-excludable as well as non-rival. So it is not possible to exclude individuals from the consumption of such goods. And you know, the public parks, owned public goods are those goods which are owned by the public, or you can say the owned by the government. So anybody who is able, who can pay the or who can satisfy the given norms can use the services of those goods. You can go to the park, government park, pay the 10 rupee fee, and you can enjoy its services. So it is a public good, and you can't exclude anyone, or it is non-rivalrous also. Then private goods, those goods which are excludable and rival. Suppose I have a car, I have my own house, so I can stop, I can prevent its use by any other person. I can't, if I wish, I can't share, I can't give it to others. So private goods are excludable and rival. Then economic goods and free goods. So it is also very important classification. Free goods are those goods that exist in plenty in the nature. We have plenty of waters in the ocean and seas, in the river. So these, the sunshine, the air, all these are goods because it has utility and it can satisfy the human needs and wants. They are essential to satisfy the human needs and wants. But The peculiar characteristics is that they are in plenty, there is no scarcity, and thus these are called free goods, and one can have as much of them as one can without any payment. Air, sunshine, I have already given you the example. Then the economic goods are those goods which are scarce and which can be obtained only after making payment for them. So this makes the difference between the free goods and economic goods, that free goods are available in plenty, there is no scarcity of that, while the economic goods are scarce, and for using the services of economic goods we need to make payments. So most of the goods, most of the services which are essential to satisfy the human needs and wants are economic goods. Although they have utility, they possess utility, they can satisfy our needs and wants, but then we will have to pay some amount for that. So most of the things a man need to satisfy his wants fall in this group. Then types of goods based on consumption of goods and capital. So there are consumption goods and capital goods. Consumption goods are those goods which yield satisfaction directly. They are used by consumer to satisfy their wants directly, like food, clothing, pen, ink, etc. So we eat food and we get satisfied simultaneously. They are also called goods of the first order. So consumption goods are also called the goods of first order. And then the second type of good is capital goods. Capital goods are those goods which are used to produce other goods and services. So those are called capital goods. Here it is written capita, but it is capital goods. So these are the goods which are used for preparing the or manufacturing the other goods, to produce the other goods. So capitals are also termed as, defined as produced means of production. These are the means which are required to produce other goods. For example, tools, machines, they are also called producers goods or goods of second order. When we go for producing something, we require tools, we require means, machines, and these are the form of capital goods. They satisfy wants only indirectly because they help in producing goods, which in turn satisfy human wants directly. The third form is intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are those goods which are in between the consumption goods and capital goods. They are the raw materials used in production of final consumption goods. For example, we eat bread every day. Bread is prepared out of wheat, and to prepare wheat, we need to convert the wheat in the form of flour. So wheat is the primary product, goods. Then flour is the intermediate, and then the bread, which is consumed, which is the ultimate, is the consumption goods. So these are the another definition. Then material goods. Material goods are those goods which can be felt and touched, which are prepared out of certain materials. For example, land, building, cash, etc. These are all material. And the non-material goods, various kinds of services are non-material goods. So I am offering my services, and this is a non-material good. They are not tangible and can be transferred. For example, the goodwill of a business. So goodwill is non-material, intangible, but then it can be transferred to the consumers, to the other persons. So it is a non-material good. Then transferable and non-transferable goods. Most materials can be transferred to other, and thus their ownership can be changed. So this is the transfer. We transfer the ownership of that product, that goods, like land, building, etc. And the non-transferable goods are those which are non-intangible and cannot be transferred to others, like skill, intelligence, etc. So if I have some knowledge, if I have some skill, I can train you to some extent. I can, but I can't transfer its ownership as such to you. It can't be transferred. So this is my skill, this is my ability, this is my intelligence, and even if I try to transfer it to my son, it is not possible. So these are non-transferable goods. Then personal and impersonal goods. Personal goods refer to the personal qualities of the person. So it lies within us. It lies within us. It is the personal quality. It is intangible. My knowledge is my personal good. And this ability and skill that I have is a personal good for me. They are non-material and exist inside myself, and thus they are also called internal goods. And the last is impersonal goods, those goods that are not personal. So any good which is not personal is impersonal. They are external and lie outside a person. For example, land, building, your pen, your desk, your bike, your car. So these are all impersonal goods because it lies outside you. You can transfer its ownership to other. You can feel, you can touch, you can see. So those are impersonal goods. So we have studied today about the definition of needs and wants, concept of needs and wants. Then we are now very clear about the difference between the goods and services. Goods and services, goods are tangible things, services are intangible things. So, and then all other details have already been explained, and then the types of goods, and based on different classifications, this different considerations, same good can be categorized, can be classified into different categories. So my skill, my knowledge is intangible good also, and it is my personal good also. So same thing based on income can be classified as tangible or intangible, and based on its position, it lies within me, it can be classified as impersonal or personal. So these are the types of goods and services. There are other types of goods and services also. Goods and services together are often termed as products. Products are those goods and services which are available in the market and satisfy the human needs and wants. So for today, I stop here. I hope you will learn this. All these PPTs and videos will be uploaded on the university website by tomorrow evening. So on Wednesday onward, you will be able to download it and then watch this. The video of the previous class and the PPT have already been uploaded on the